It's always good to start the week with a simulated drowning sequence. Now, I've got to just give you a little warning. The oi polloi, nice to see you in bright and early. You might be able to hear that. Oh, go quiet now. Go quiet now. As soon as I set this off, I saw 4 blokes go to the flat upstairs. My old flat, the slightly crappier one. And with power tools and hammers and things. So any minute now, like I've been setting this, taking me 2 hours. Oh, I've done the research. I've got the memes. I've got the clips. I've read some stuff. I've learned. I've considered whether I can blag knowing about something, and I've done all that. Just lovely here, peace. And of course, as soon as I went, let's go, let's do this thing. They walked upstairs with hammers, power tools, angle grinders, 50 cal machine guns, naked ladies, a bear dressed as a human, and a pigeon who can speak English. So it could go, it's not pigeon English though, it's actually very good, almost Shakespearean in its vocabulary. I'm guessing that ketogenic excellence is young Harry. So Harry made a video about ketones, some fad diet. And I responded to him and I said, can you stop it, please? I said to him, Harry, you missed a trick there because you're a funny bloke. And that was a bit of a weird kind of ketones are important to your diet. In a study published in 2019, Arnold Beckensfern said that ketones are good for you and stop eating so many carbs, Chris. And I thought it was the wrong angle. I wanted it was constructive criticism. And his reply was, I've quit. I do like a man who's come back to YouTube so many times, remembers how difficult, stressing, can be annoying, and he just went, nah. I remembered what he didn't say this, but in those 2 words, I've quit, or I quit. He summed it all up. He said all of that. He said, nah, scripting, editing, researching, and then having 7 people watch it. He went. So let me just confirm that it is him. Has he quit? Maybe he's quit this stream. Yes, Baz, I woke up for a piss in the early hours. I could barely see, and I was like having to strain my eyes to focus on my phone. Managed to barely type in French election results. Oh, now we've got the neighbours' kids being tortured. Fritzl moved in, I think. That's not a nice saying when you're planning a family, is it? But let's be honest, it's going to be France's 4 years of hell. It's going to just get worse. I mean, it's so bad. The situation in France, if you actually look into it, look at some of the numbers and what's actually happening out there and what's going to continue to happen now for another 4 years in France. Lumi or anyone else can confirm that. But Le Pen wins the next election without a doubt. The results show that it was basically old French couples who were like, oh, no, we don't want any Nazis in power because that would be bad because, the Nazis. And but they sadly, and I mean that because it's not nice when people die. A friend of mine died out here. I found out yesterday. He was the first Barang foreigner, that means, as Phalang means in Thailand, I ever spoke to out here. When I come out here on holiday and I'd run out of juice and I just got busy on the internet. Now you can buy it in shops out here and you can go to Facebook and there's about 20 juice shops. But I managed to find this bloke, Back Alley Vapes. And it was weird because the hotel that I always stayed in when I used to come here on holiday is on this road. Well, this isn't a road, but if you go down the alley, that main road there is where I first ever stayed and used to continue. When you find a nice hotel, you stick with it. And you come in, they go, Mr. Clears, lovely to see you again. I'm like, yeah, it would appear the prices have gone up a bit, though. and I know where he lives, obviously, and it took me about 3 hours to find it. It's 4-minute walk from the hotel to where he is, but because it's a very strange place, Phnom Penh, it took me 4 hours, and he stayed up till about midnight. But weirdly, he was like 63 or something then. Nice bloke, and I've always bought my vaping stuff off him, which is only batteries. I get this off Leng, as you know. And I got a message yesterday from one of his Cambodian mates saying Rob died. He died. And you know what he done? He found a woman when he got out here, a Cambodian woman, and she had 2 kids. And he married her, and within about a year realised that she was insane. She used to beat the kids, like proper, just hold them down and punch them. And when he caught, he was getting a bit sort of suspicious because the boy, especially as a boy and a girl, they were like 3 and 4 or something. The boy would always have bruises on him and around his guts, and she'd always say, "No, you know, he likes to play. He fell down the stairs." All that usual domestic violence bullshit. And one day he came in and saw her just hammering him, and he told me a story. He got a knife, a kitchen knife, big old kitchen knife, and he pushed her up against the wall, put it to her throat, and said, "If I ever catch you hurting either of those kids, her kids, not his. If I ever catch you hurting those kids again, I'll kill you. I will kill you." And she stopped. And he's told me this. That was 15 odd years ago when I met him, and he told me that a few years later. He's only hung around for those, you know. He's only hung around to bring up those kids who are obviously older now. But he said to me, I think I told you, he said to me a couple of months back, he's going back to Australia because he just can't handle her anymore. The kids are old enough to look after themselves. He's done his bit. He's put, he made all his money in real estate in Australia. He had plenty of money. And his vape business, has made him a fortune. But he set up trust funds for the pair of them as well for the kids, so that when they get to 18, I think it is, they can go to college, travel the world, do whatever they want. So a really nice bloke, done a really nice thing, a difficult thing, I think, to bring up other people's children and to hang around for that. Admirable, noble. I don't know if I could do that, but I'd like to think I would. But putting up with someone anyway. He died, bless him. So bless you, Rob. I hope you have a good journey wherever you go now. Something else I've been thinking about before we get into the clips, the memes, and other things. I was watching History Buffs, a YouTube channel called History Buffs. I assume plenty of you know that channel. It's a massive channel, a couple of million subscribers. And what he does is he looks at movies, tells you about the movie, and then talks about the historical inaccuracies or the historical accuracies of the movies. And I'm into movies and I'm into history, so that's as are a lot of people, I imagine, which is why it's such a good channel. And he knows his stuff. He clearly is an intelligent man, does his research. And I was watching his thing on Goodfellas, and then I watched his thing on Godfather, and then I watched his thing on Casino. I got on a bit of a mafioso tip. And I started thinking about Mafia movies. And this is kind of common knowledge now, but it wasn't when Mario Puzo wrote, for instance, The Godfather. The Mafia didn't used to hang around in nice suits and do all that fancy stuff they do in Goodfellas and all that sort of, all this sort of honourable stuff. That was all made up by Mario Puzo and others. I can't remember who wrote Goodfellas off the top of my head. It was largely invented, and the Mafia actually copied. It's like a postmodern sort of flashback. The Mafia then copied the Mafia movies. The Mafia thought, well, hang on a minute, we're missing a trick here, because people like these movies. They like the style. They like the idea of the fraternity and the rules. Now, there were some. Obviously, you need some kind of hierarchies and rules. But most of it was invented by the likes of Mario Puzo. But the Mafia copied it. The Mafia started like getting their dress sense sorted out and playing it up a bit, becoming characters, becoming really eccentrics. John Gotti was an eccentric. The Gambinos are eccentric people, and I started to think about, and this you'll see where this is going when I tell you where it's going. But I started thinking about how we watch those movies, and you're on the side of the gangsters. You're on the side of these murderers who killed many innocent people. Even when you watch things about Pablo Escobar, I mean, I think Narcos dealt with it slightly different. But when you watch the older things about Pablo, you're kind of on his side and what he done. It's a strange thing. And I remember with Das Boot and All Quiet on the Western Front that my dad made me watch both of. And you're sort of on the side of the Germans, and it's kind of you suddenly realise how film can work and how storytelling can work. When you're thinking, oh no, that bit at the end, spoiler alert, of Das Boot, when they, after so many near death in a less than well-built submarine, managed to get back to Germany, and then there's an air attack and they all get killed, and you're like, shit. And then you sort of remember that you're English and they were the enemy. And the same with All Quiet on the Western Front. It's the Germans on the Western Front. Anyway, I was thinking about that, and then I looked back into history and the older movies, the older detective movies, the sort of noir movies and all that. And again, it's never all. Hashtag not all is a horrible hashtag. Hashtag don't say hashtag not all anymore. Not hashtag not all the time. You tended to be on the side of the police in the 50s and the 60s, early 60s anyway. You tended to be on the side of the people, we the people. And it's interesting if you look at that kind of lineage and how that's changed and from sort of like the 80s, even in the 70s, Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry's a copper. Now, yeah, he's dirty, but he's a copper, and you're on his side. Starsky and Hutch, Police Move, loads of things like that. Chips, so gay. But you're on the side of the old Bill, and then there's this kind of change where you're on the side of, like, Breaking Bad is a classic example. Everyone is on Walter White and Jesse's side. Now, have you seen what methamphetamine does to people, families, communities? And, if you step back a bit and think about, I know it's a story, but I don't mean a story. I mean, I know it's a fiction, but the amount of meth they were putting out in that, the lives that get ruined at the end of that chain, it's a fucking horrible drug, meth. It's one of the worst in terms of what it does to you physically and mentally, and then obviously socially, professionally, financially, and in every other way you can imagine. And yet you're gunning for them. You want Walter White to get away with it. You want Jesse to sort it out. And here's why. Here's what is simple, really. It's like travelers. It's like the traveling community. I mean, I have to say, while I know they've done a lot of dirty things, the travelers that I've had loads of run-ins with travelers in my time. I've worked for them. I've done interviews with them. I brought filmmakers down and introduced them, middlemanned it. And I've bought drugs from them. And, they've got some questionable tactics. But even in Snatch, they're the heroes. Brad Pitt is the hero of the film, essentially. When he's fighting, you want him to win. You want the traveller to win. Even at the end, Bricktop doesn't win. The London English gangster doesn't win, and you laugh when he brings his window down and the pikey takes him out of a shotty, and you're like, yeah, the pikey's won. Even Jason Statham's character kind of sort of gives them credit, and it's because all those people I've mentioned, the Mafia. And the Pikeys, and there was someone else somewhere in all that drivel. They've got communities. They've got communities. They've got extended families. The Pikeys have. The Mafia have. Certainly in the movies. And compared to the murder and damage that governments do, compared to the murder and the damage, you could say, I'm not saying, I've got no evidence for this, but I don't know, I'll just pick something out of the air. Big Pharma potentially does. The damage to our communities and our lives, I'll just pick another one out there. Big Tech does. You know, big finance, the damage that does to people's lives. The Mafia there's no competition. 500,000, 10,000 murders. Let's say Pablo Escobar was blowing people up all over the place. Pablo Escobar blew up a plane because it had one bloke on it. You compare that to what governments do, it's nothing. And so you kind of, you're seduced by the idea of being in the Mafia because they've got a community. Not in reality necessarily, but not necessarily not. That was a bit not Gonzo, wasn't it? But when watching the movie, this idea that they've got these sort of rules and regulations, they've got an accepted hierarchy, they've got the extended family, they've got the respect, and it's the same with the Travelers. It's the same in Snatch and in other movies. Not having that, we don't have that. It's very rare for people of our ethnicity to have extended families that going and visiting them every once a month or once a year doesn't count as an extended family. I'm talking about an extended family that is there, is present in your life daily. We haven't got any of that. And so when we look at movies and we've got like government, we think of crime and we think of the police. What, the police? We ain't on their side anymore. Fuck them. They do nothing but they don't. The police protect the government. That's the government's armed division. So we're never going to be on their side. We're on the side of the people who've got community and family and respect and heritage and traditions. And it's interesting how you can see that train of thought, how that changed from the older kind of cop TV series and detective movies or even the noir novels, the Pulp Fiction novels, all the way through to the current day, where you tend to be on the side of the villain. And what a strange turnaround. So that was the morning I had. Hang on a minute, is Mosaic Labrador in here? Good bloody hell. How lovely to see you. I pinged you a couple of emails. I was getting a little bit sad that you might have just moved on, because people do. You've been here a while. I've only got so much to say. I get back to the beginning every sort of 8 months. And that would have been fair, but I felt like we made friends. But I know you're super busy. You've got a lot going on, and so it's lovely to see you. Plastic African is in Doncaster at the BMW site for the BCA. This is going to be fun. Have a good one. You have a good one too. I don't know what a BCA is. I don't know what it is. But have a good one. I would if I was there. I've had a few people listen to this. I've had about 300 people sign up to my Substack since I haven't written a new story, because 7 Spastics, I put 4 hours in last night, and the last one, that's the girlfriend. I hope she's all right. Hasn't had a motorbike crash. I'm so scared. Hello, my love. Yeah, I'm making a YouTube video. You're going to go market and do hair? Yeah?
Love you.
I love you. Hang on, you're going to the market to get your hair washed?
Yeah.
All right, darling, no problem. I'm doing this anyway, so I'll see you a bit later. Then we'll get some food, yeah? Bye, darling. Love you. Bye. Mwah. Hi. know what I was talking about. I haven't got a fucking clue. Anyway, we got some absolutely. The Reaver was good, but was it worth the sacrifice? 18 years old, just got married. Was it worth the sacrifice? I don't know. I feel the same about Harry. I think I just thought, don't do it. Don't talk about that stuff because it's going to screw you. And there's other people talking about it who've got real estate, who might have a few quid tucked away, might have investments, bigger channels. Is it worth screwing up your job opportunities at your age to tell 150 people stuff that they can get from many other channels? I think the likes of Reva and Harry have done the right thing. I mean, I know that might not sound positive, and this isn't meant as a nasty thing, but they weren't bringing anything new to the table, and they put themselves first. And sometimes you have to, you have to. Hello, Pax Max. How are you, son? Steve Cray, Toothgate would be nice. How's the older Toothgate getting on? It's 5 years in France, is it? Oh my days. Yeah, without a doubt. I don't buy any of this dog and pony show lark. Macron is gonna 5 years is a long time to wreck a country, and he knows that Le Pen wins next time unless he imports voters. There you go. That's pretty much all I've got to say about that at the moment. It's absolutely terrifying. Lovely to see you, though, Mosaic Labrador. I hope you and your family are well, and I hope your that new land project is going well. I don't think so, Hayden. I don't think so. She, 42% when it she got? I think they predicted. I think it swung further to the right. I honestly, they're saying, if I put the metrics up here before, most of the people who voted for Macron are like in the 55 to sort of 70 bracket, interestingly enough. But we'll see. But it's really sad for France. I certainly hope, and I don't think that we'll see the same thing in the midterms. That would be a shocker. I think the midterms is going to be just a red wave. No one can put up with that. No one can put up with that anymore. It's ridiculous. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Jeff. Nice to see you. Hello, Colonel Custard. Hello, Whacker Smack. Yeah. No, I just realised what people are talking about. Yeah, no, he was a really, really nice bloke. Really nice bloke. Interesting bloke as well. I used to go around there, end up sitting there for hours chatting with him. That's very nice of you, Martin. Yeah, Arthur Rob. I'll jump in on that. But it does, it did remind me how it can just come. You get a text one morning, and I just thought, I'm not gonna see him again. Hang on, it looks like I've missed. Oh yeah, you are Harry Truck. Hello, Mr. Natras. It looks like I've missed some news about Moslab. Hang on, man. Hang on, mate. Hang on, this is important. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Sent you an email, Danesfield. Wife has cancer, so it's been caught it really early. She's a champ and she'll be fine. Bless you, bless your wife, bless your family. Remember Jeffrey Sharla came on this show and talked about addiction being a choice. He's in his 70s. He got cancer and sorted it out. He hasn't got it anymore. Moslab, if you want to Skype me or Zoom call me at any time, just for anything. If you want time just to vent or offload, I won't sit there giving you advice about something you clearly know more about than me, but I'm always available. And best of luck to you. That's terrible news. But like you say, it's not what it used to be in terms of, I think things have moved on from the 80s. There you go. Yeah. Email me, Moslab, if you want to chat ever, and we can sort that out. And if there's anything I can do, I mean, I that's pretty much what I can do. I can chat with you if you want it. Hooper says, I used to have a real hatred for the gypsies and travellers, but now part of me admires their sense of community and sticking two fingers up to the establishment. Thieving bastards. Well, no, that's absolutely it. That's what I'm saying. It's the same with the mafia. Yeah, they were murderers, they were thugs, they done awful, awful things, and they done it sometimes unnecessarily brutally. You can shoot someone to kill them, but they'd often just punch and kick someone to death because they wanted it to be brutal. But they did say, "Fuck, I'm not playing by the rules of this corrupt government." A government that bombed Cambodia and said it didn't. I mean, are you taking the piss? They're not interested in that. They've got a community and they fought it. They fought corrupt governments so that they could live a life where they had a sense of independence, and that does become admirable, because if you haven't got that in the current situation, and I've got a very good video, a very good clip I'll show you that is on on this topic. You want it. You look at it and you envy it. You absolutely envy it. And why wouldn't you? Because we've been so atomized. We've been so separated, so split up. I can't keep calling you ketogenic excellence. It's Harry Truck Show. Tommy Robinson, UK. Reva doing very well. And Harry says, I'm here, brother. You gave good advice. Oh, well, I didn't know it was my advice. But yeah, I think you know. Moslab, did you send me that email today? Because I haven't got one for a long time. Maybe if you sent it a while back, it might have been when my Chris at Chris Dangerfield email was down. It was down for about a week, so that's probably why I didn't get it, unless you sent it today. Yeah, it's good to hear that. Good to hear that Reva's doing well. That's good. Harry says, money is most important thing for now to build the life you want. 10 million quid puts you above the law. 10 million quid's quite a lot to make, though, but it can be done, obviously. No, okay, so, but what? But surely, what did she call her party? The National Rally. Surely the National Rally is going to stand next time. I think they'll be fine. Next time. But I sort of agree with you, John. It's going to be it'll be in a desperate state in 5 years, as will most of Western Europe. It was always going to get worse before it got better, and it's okay saying that, but it will. It's going to get worse, and that's why I've focused a lot on this channel about getting your passive income streams, getting yourself in a position where you've got a bit of financial independence, so you've got choices, because choices give you a little bit more freedom than if you haven't got it. I mean, look how many people they're talking about bringing to Europe in the next sort of 5-10 years. It's shocking. Have a look at this. I put it on my Telegram the other day. Hang on, I'll get it up. Get it up, steady. So I can't remember where I grabbed this from. I think I actually grabbed this from Sensum Communum's channel. I've got a little video clip that will back this up in a minute, but I think Sensum Communum put this on the screen, and I just quickly done a screen grab. Have a look at this. It'll absolutely blow your mind. So a little bit of backstory first. So in Ireland era, they said they were going to bring 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. Now I've got to be really careful talking about this, because I got sent a thing. I read it out on this channel. You are not allowed to say this. You are not allowed to say this. You are not allowed to say this. So I'm not giving any. I'm just telling you what I see. They said that they were going to take 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. Now, I don't know if any of you saw that Ukrainian bloke on it was going around TikTok for a while. He was a African Ukrainian, and he said, "I won't be staying and fighting because why would I?" He said, "I'm black. I'm not Ukrainian." He said, "I'm going to England." So you can be Ukrainian if it means you can go to England, but you're not going to stay and fight as a Ukrainian because you're not Ukrainian. So it's, that's I have got to deal with it like this, people. I mean, okay, that's an interesting way of dealing with what is strangely at base a peculiar dual nationality that's about to become a tri-nationality. So they said 100,000 to ERA, and then they upped it to 200,000 a couple of days later. I mean, I wave my virtue flag so high, hoping the whole world sees it. And then, like I say, I think it was Sensum that popped this up on his screen, and I'll read it out. Helen McEntee, speaking in government buildings on Thursday, insisted that Ukrainian refugees will continue to be welcomed. And I've highlighted this bit in case you can't see it. She indicated the government will avoid, if possible, I'm going to read it again. She indicated the government will avoid, if possible, forcing people or businesses to give up property or open their homes to Ukrainian refugees. They will avoid, if possible, forcing people to give up their homes or businesses, give up their property. I mean, this is communism. This is how it works. You got no private property. That's a sweetener. That's the start of them saying, no, we are gonna fall short. I've got a clip to show you in a minute that will make you realise how ridiculous that is. Because the amount of people in ERA who've actually said they will happily accept these people, it's nowhere near 200,000. Unless they're going to put them in football stadiums with sleeping bags and hexy burners, you're going to be forced. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the stormtroopers marching down your road? You're just sitting there watching me on YouTube, having a laugh, a good time, being with friends, being around community. Oh, fucking hell, don't open that. Door comes in. Get out, get on the floor. What's happening? Here's your new housemates. What? Hello, I am from the Ukraine. I originally from Congo, but now I am Ukrainian. I live in your house. I have paperwork. Okay. So that's interesting. Fucking hell. If possible, though. And it ain't possible because no way are 200,000 people going to just say, oh, yeah, we'll take someone in. I mean, obviously, we'll get the jokes out. Svetlanka can come and stay. But that ain't who you're getting. Let's be honest. Let's be realistic. There's an ML in the chat for Mosaic Labrador. That's a terrible news. I didn't watch the fight. I did not watch it. No, hello, dog-faced pony soldier. Over 100 people in it. Well, I've already got the grift set up. I'll just tell you. Super chat down is the $ at the bottom there. I've put the Entropy link up there already. If you use Entropy, you don't give anyone any money. Well, you do. That's false advertising. You give me some, but you don't give YouTube any. I do try and stream every day. It's not a full-time job, but I do put a lot of energy, effort, passion, and I'll tell you what, Duck Boy Jiden, he sent me a story. He said, listening to your story about BBC Radio, he said, I decided to do an audio recording of it rather than type it all out. And he said, I've got a little bit more respect for what you do now, because sitting in a room on your own talking to yourself is somewhat bizarre. I didn't get to the end of it though, Duck Boy. It was quite long. It was quite long, but I will get to the end of it. I was running out of time because I had to prep this stream. Hello, Mr. Teej. Hello, Mike the Mank. Ludwig's on the firm. Willow, one a week. Willow sends me one clip a week, which is nice. John, you don't trust anything, do you? Like nothing. The fight appeared rigged and choreographed to me. Although, admittedly, boxing is probably one of the easiest sports to rig, but you don't trust anything. Trust some things, John, please, just for your sanity. Harry says that criminals run the world, mafia run communities. Well, did you mean ruin? I don't know what you're talking about. Hello, how are you? All right, nice to see you. Might have to rebrand to TRUK. It was always weird. Have you quit or not? Ketogenic excellence. Moslab says, weeks ago, yeah, I didn't get it. I had Chris at Chris Dangerfield went down probably about, when was it, people? 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't know why. The debit card had been upgraded and we forgot to change the debit card. It's not important, but I didn't get it. So that's why I haven't known. So that's why you probably got an email off me going, hey, mate, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're all right. Just checking in. And you probably thought, yeah, I sent you an email, but that's why there's probably been some confusion. Appreciate the love, Scrubs. First couple of weeks were rough. I was a wreck. The wife didn't skip a beat. Yeah, they made a different stuff when it comes to it, and I'm here for you though, man. If I can do anything, or if you just want to chat, even if you just want to both sit like this for 30 minutes going hard sometimes, I can do that. I can listen. Trust me, I can actually just listen. So that's all I can offer really. But at least you've got a nice big family and they'll all be around there, and just make sure you get a bit of support. I know you're super hard and you've got loads of guns, but take some time off, cut yourself some slack. Oh, for sure, Willow, for sure. I'm not saying they're not saints, but you kind of admire the fact that they don't play by the rules. And how do they get away with it? Because they've got communities. Like the traveller site in Abbey Wood, the amount of times I got nicked walking out of it. So you walk out of it, you walk down the road to the train station, the old bill come, 2 fucking squad cars, they all jump out, hands behind your back, all that. And you're like, you know where I've come from. Why haven't you gone on there? Why you're going to lock me up? You're going to chuck me in a cell for the night, costing you $5,000 for a 10 bag? And what's going to happen then? Then you're going to cost the courts money to have a judge say, what's it called? Unconditional discharge for a year. Is that what's going to happen? I wonder why you don't go on there. I want, why don't you go on there? No, you don't, because you know full well what will fucking happen. That's the difference. I haven't got that. I haven't got a massive family. I haven't got a family that can call on other families and other families and other families and turn up at that copper's house. Hello, Buster Brook. Buster Brooks says, my thoughts are with you and your family, Moslav. I've recently been diagnosed with cancer myself. Buster Brooks, you didn't tell us that, as is your choice. And it's a great shock to come to terms with. Wow, that, Little Red as well. Little Red, Scrub Little Red was diagnosed with cancer a while back. Well, bless you, Buster Brook. I offer the same to you as well if you want to Skype or Zoom or something like that. I'll always be able to find time. See you later, Ludwig. Take care, mate. You'll be lurking. Not a problem. Not a problem. Take care. Andy Mack says, glad to hear it was caught early. It truly is a scratched record, frantic time. Happened to my missus, so I get it. prayers for your missus and family. Wow, Andy. You know, it's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible. I don't believe in the integrity of some elections, but I do believe in the integrity of others. You know, you're going to, I don't think France is going to look at the gains that the National Rally have made with the global propaganda machine working against them. 10%. There's a 10% difference between them, something like that, 12%. That'll be made up in 4 years as France continues to go down the Swanee. Hello, Ben. Nice to see you. Hooper says France is foobard. Lumi says major parties tend to form and reform between elections in France. It's hard to keep up. Yeah, but what? Unos donatiato. Nice one. Looks like Mr. Natras. I'll have a look at that in una momento. But the thing is, the French system is set up to prevent radicals. So you know this, Lumi. So you have the first round, Le Pen, and it ends up Le Pen, Macron. All the centrists and leftists, even though they don't like Macron, support him to keep Le Pen out. But 40 to 53 or whatever they're guessing it is. I don't know if the results have actually come out. They're just assuming it's that. You know, that's incredible considering the system is there to prevent that. And I think 4 or 5 years, however long it is, I think they'll make up that. I absolutely think they will. Because the younger people in France are like, what the fuck has happened to the country I grew up in? You know, and by younger, being an old fuddy-duddy, I mean like people in their mid-30s down to their 20s. But yeah, it is hard to keep up with. I think you're absolutely right, Grim. I think you're absolutely right. John Francis says Whitey is in for it. White has already been in for it, but don't lose faith in Whitey because Whitey has done incredible things and already proven itself as a ethnicity. I think we'll be fine. On a positive note, Jeff has been offered two interviews for jobs he applied to today. Nice one, Jeff. Good luck with those. Westo said that in the House of Scrubs, and the communal consciousness and positivity of the place and his experience and abilities, maybe he got the job. Steve's got a call on the go. No problem, Steve. Where else are we going here? Hello, Windy. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. There you go. Ukrainian when it suits. No, absolutely, Hooper. It's quite the situation. I've got a video to show you that will blow your mind. Ketogenic excellence. I quit. Says I quit. Says. Have you seen the UN pushing governments in the West to outright ban homeschooling? Yeah. I think it's already banned in Germany. I think it's banned in France. And you have to jump through many hoops in England. I think that's right. Someone else might be able to tell me. John Palmer says forced multiculturalism in your own home. Yeah, well, that's communism, John. It's not your home. If they can tell you who's coming to live there, it's no longer your home. You pay for it. You work all your life and you get a mortgage that is an absolute stress because no one keeps jobs for longer than 3 years anymore. But it ain't yours. If possible, wait till you see the video and you look at the numbers. And there you go, Abstract Steve and William both quoted the same thing. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. I wonder if Gary will take any. Did he ever take one, or was that just more chat? Hello, Emma. Lovely to see you. She sends love to Ian and Mosaic Labrador. Andy Max says slan era. I don't know what slan means, but I trust Andy, so I'm sure it's all right. Hello, Kevin. Kevin, as well as Rags, supplied a lot of the memes and clips today, and we are going to move into those. Cole Python always hears Stormtrooper music when he thinks about this stuff. Yeah, me too. It's terrifying. Ben's glad he lives on a boat. Well, I've got to say it, and I know it doesn't go down well in the community at large, but I wouldn't have a family in England at the moment. I'd be too fucking scared. I never did. I couldn't afford a house with a garden in England. And I didn't want to bring up children in an house without. I saw friends who had like 2 kids in a fucking bedsit, and you can't live like that. You go mad. Well, I would. I absolutely would. Yeah, it was ridiculous, wasn't it, Colt? Who knows what was meant to be? Hang on. Dogface Pony Soldier says Lineker had his refugee. He was vetted and in his house for about an hour. Come in, have a cup of tea. Are you still here? I think that legally counts as having a refugee in my house. David no longer has any hope. Sit back and enjoy the show. No, have hope, but it's just going to get worse for a while. These things take time. It's largely generational to have radical ideological change. It's generational. It doesn't happen in a matter of years. Stay hopeful. I mean, the fact that you say sit back and enjoy the show suggests there is hope there, because the show's going to come to an end, and when that final curtain draws, everyone's going to go, thank fuck, right, let's start living again. Right, where are we? Hello, Hoax, nice to see you, mate. Hello there, R4 Lights. Pax Max, did I say hello to you? I hope so. If anyone can work that out, what is the population of Ireland of era? Because 200k is some kind of percentage. Yeah, it's a good call, Willow. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's. I'm just going down through these. John says you are Russell Brand in a mask. Have you been drinking, John? Have you had your morning super tenants? I can assure you I'm not. I love you, John Francis. Right, where are we? There you go. Look, just as I called it. Hello, Jim. Nice to see you. Right. Hello, Jays. Oh, Jays, there was 3 people over on Twitch yesterday, and all 3 of them subscribed to the channel. I don't know if you're on your Jack Jones over there at the moment, but when I get my Twitch, what would you call it? Stream report. Every time it's like, you had 12 new viewers. And I'm like, yay, you had no new subscribers. And I'm like, But yesterday it was, you had 8 new viewers. I was like, yay, you had. And I asked them as well. I said, do us a favor. I don't know whether it's called, I think it's follow. I think you have to pay to subscribe. And, that'd be silly. Talking about paid subscriptions, I will sort out the private streams. I will get on that. With the old migraines that I've been having recently, that's been a bit difficult, but I will get on them. Harry says that making vids, but people are tight bastards. Not risking my livelihood and ability to survive, making money to earn a £5 super chat per vid that took me 100 hours to make. It is hard work. It took me 2 hours to set this stream up, and it's going to take me 2 hours to show it. That's 4 hours, and I've got to work today. But I have to say, though, the scrubs are pretty good. It's been a bit low on the ground today, but over the month it tends to. They're a good bunch. You lot are a good bunch. They're actually here, Harry. So I meant them. Hello, La. Right, let's get to Mr. Natrasis, because otherwise it's going to be right out of context. Thank you, Graham. Linton on Ouse, the local. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's right. Linton on Ouse, the local ex-RAF base, is going to be used as an illegal dump. 1,000 locals versus 1,500 refugees. Mr. Natras. I haven't got the freedom you have, so I have to, use the politically correct language. But yeah, nice one for the donation. Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? For people who don't know, there's a tiny little town called Linton on Ouse of 1,000 people there, and the media, the articles that I'm being eaten to death by mosquitoes. Hang on. Let's get that D out. Where's the D? Show me the D. I use it like a brute, splash it all over. The articles that I read called Linton on Ouse a dead town. They were the propaganda was amazing. Dying town, Linton on Ouse. It's like, hang on a minute, I'm sure 1,000 people who live there are all right. What? They were really the suggestion was that enriching it is going to turn it into this kind of cosmopolitan next century sort of utopia. Ridiculous. Thank you, Graham Hoyt, for that donation. Machano Kaprasha Flatu. Right. See you later, Eunice. Have you said goodbye to yourself? What? Did you just say goodbye to yourself, Eunice? It's a peculiar way to look at it, but see you later. Where with me? Yeah, I agree with you, John. I absolutely do agree. Well, there you go. In the Communist Manifesto, on the first page, about the third paragraph, Karl Marx says socialism can be described in one sentence: the abolition of private property. That's all you need to know. You don't have anything. Nothing is yours. Sounds like it'll work. What could go wrong? Good gosh. Can you imagine being in that Linton on Ouse and they're sitting there at the moment watching the telly going, we're going to be outnumbered by 50%. Is that right? I never know my percentages. 150%. 2 to 1, 1.5 to 1. There you go. 4/5. Brian, hello, mate. That's the population, is it? So, what is? Come on, maths people. What is 200,000? Oh, I can even work this out. A fifth is 1 million. It's a fifth. Times 5. It's 1/25. 1/25. Foot golf's on the firm. Thank you. Okay. Hello, historical doppelganger. I have absolute faith. Look, this is what has happened to humanity since humanity started. It goes that way, and then it all fucks up. It goes that way, and it sorts itself out. And these people think that's fucked up. And, we'll be fine, but there's going to be tough times ahead. But I'll tell you what. Hello, 42. Nice to see you. That is one massive mosquito bite on my arse. It's a little bit close, if you know what I mean. I don't want to be getting the old tiger balm there, but maybe I do. Wouldn't be the first time if you know about my methamphetamine insertion story. Right, let's get on. I think Brian has just made a donation. Let's get on. Thank you, Brian. DEET smells horrible. It smells of toxic chemicals, but I've got a fan there and I've got one there, and I never use it if there ain't a fan about, because it's the same with the old Raid. I only have to inhale a mouthful of it and I get an headache. It's so dangerous. Hello, Baron Badger. Are you new in these parts? What's going on here? I demand answers. Well, I stream every day. I recognise pretty much everyone in the chat because they tend to come here frequently, and we talk about a variety of things, and that's it. We try and see how to improve our lot in life a lot of the time. You don't have to agree with anything as long as you're respectful and friendly, dare I say it. But if you're neither of those, you'll be ousted upon Linton. In Minecraft, someone should just Hello, Zeitgeist. Nice to see you, my friend. Population of 1,000 is probably 300 homes. I should have read that out first, shouldn't I? But here's my point. Get your passive incomes. Use your skills to generate some funds. Get busy giving yourself choices. Because imagine you live in Linton on Ouse. Imagine you've got 2 daughters. You're currently thinking, I don't know about this. Your life's about to change beyond your imagination. You're not going to even understand. It's about to go completely different. They're going to get loads of money from the government. They're probably going to have more spending power than you. So all those local shops that you used to go and get your English food from it's going to be jerk chicken and rice and peas. And you want to get out. You'd want to get out. And if you haven't got the funds, you can't get out. The property prices that you've paid off your mortgage for, I thought, well, at least I've got a bit of real estate. That's just lost 50% of its value, if not 100%. I mean, who's going to want to move in there? There you go. Look, Mr. Natral says, I imagine Linton Ouse is a small village, a church and a corner shop. I'm not too far away from it. Good Lord. Good Lord. Hello, Sufist. Sufist. Right, let's have I actually even said hello to Ragnar Ironspear? Hello, mate. How are you? Thanks for the clips. Hope you're well. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Mousecat. Mousecat, I've got that clip to show today. Mousecat sent me the most absurd clip. You're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. And it was weird. He said, I thought of you. I thought, when you see it, hang on, the other half's in here, apparently. Where's she? Hello, Mrs. Me in it. With your scans. I haven't looked at them yet. I will do. Right. Okay. Who haven't I said? What's a Substack? We haven't got there yet. But I tell you what, I'm telling you right now. I don't think I've even, did I say thank you to Brian for his donation? Not sure I did, not sure I've even got to it. 7 Spastics is fucking brilliant. I got into the whole history. There's one of them where I got into the whole history of Dartford. Now, you might think, oh, that's exciting. Well, when I tell you that the population of Dartford was 20,000 and there was 10,000 hospital beds there, and that Dartford had the most hospital beds per capita of population than anywhere else in the world, right? One of them was called the Greater London Lunatic Asylum, yeah. One of them was called, what is it? It's something like, I don't want to ruin it, but sign up to my Substack. Second link in description. It's totally free. There's 15 stories in the archive. And when this one's finished, lovely to see some donations coming in. I've been talking for an hour. Lovely. If you put your email in, when it's finished, 2 or 3 days, I reckon, it's a blinder. It's a blinding bit of writing. It's probably going to be about 10,000 words. But some of the history of Dartford that is relevant to the story that I'm talking about. It's what is that? I'm almost. Hang on, I am going to get it out. There was like 5 mental hospitals when I was growing up there, and obviously that links into the whole 7 Spastics theme. Let me just clock my history and I'll show you. How do I search it? That's how I do it. Right, hang on. This will absolutely crack you up. It is a bit of a spoiler alert because I was thinking this is just gold. Right here, I listened to a couple of the hospitals that were in Dartford. So 10,000 hospital beds in a town of 20,000 people. Dartford's hilarious. And that literally was the most beds per capita of anywhere in the world. And of course, during Thatcher's time, when it was caring the community, get out. And also that happened before, because when smallpox happened, there's loads of smallpox coffins buried in Dartford, like wrapped up in bitumen and that in the sands in the Thames. A little bit hearsay there, but check out this here. City of London Lunatic Asylum. It was actually called that. Listen to this. Because Dartford is a shortened form of the ford of the River Darren. So then it becomes Dartford. A ford is where it would have been horses and carts that went through the water to get to the other side. It was known as that's a ford, and so that's why. But it used to be called Darren. Darren School and Asylum for Imbeciles. I think that was where I done my secondary education. Check out this one for a madhouse. Gore Farm, spelt Gore. Gore Farm Hospital. It's too good. Darren School and Asylum for Imbeciles. You know what that is? That's some kid back in the day going out of a catapult and the copper going, "Come on, you'll get your nick, son," and you wake up stapled to the floor. Why they do experimental drug tests on you? Fingers crossed, you might get something out of it. Yeah, it's one of them was called Longreach Hospital. You're telling me? Yeah. So that the sixth spastic goes all into the history of Dartford because I needed to talk about the estates in Dartford. And just sign up to my Substack. You're gonna love it. I built up Lizard Jane. I was right to. I built up Whatever Happened to Hunting. I was right to. I'm building up Seven Spastics, and I am more than right to. It's beautiful. Hello, Klaatu. Nice to see you. Yeah, weird that, isn't it? They all got in They all went to Dartford. Why though? Why was there so many hospitals in Dartford? It's just go away. We don't need you. Right. Oh, so some have said they're going to stay in France. Not all bad. Right, a couple of super chats come in. I think I missed Brian's. I saw it, but I don't think I. There you go. Oh no, that was right. I didn't thank you. I went off on one about D. I haven't even got to the clips and the memes yet, and we've done an hour. Thank you, Brian. Machano Caprasha Tutor. See you later, Bad Bingo. That's a terrible shame. I'll probably still be rambling. Depends when the missus comes back, I suppose. Lint and house prices they will. They're going to go down to nothing in the end. Who's going to want to live there? Everyone will be trying to get out. Of course they will. William says, I have no Chinese fans. That's not strictly true, actually. I think I do. There's something is telling me, hang on, medium. Hang on, there's a presence. I think there might. No, I haven't. I've got fans who live in China, though, but they're not Chinese. Well, maybe according to some people they are. Right. So listen to this. You know, Jer's going through a bit of a bad time at the minute. That's for him to tell you, not me. But Jer bought me an atomizer, right? He just bought it for me. Lovely. Because I was complaining about my atties and all that. And he bought it for me and I can't get it working. And I've tried. And I've tried more than I usually would because it was a gift. And, you know, if someone gives you something and makes the effort, I try. What is that? Have I got? Am I getting old? Is my head changing? I tried and I tried and I tried. And yesterday he sent me a web page, a landing page. And I tell you what, as someone who's in e-commerce, I looked at that lander and I thought that is probably about 20 grand's work. This one web page, easily, for the photography, the design, the coding, the computer touching up of the photos, the animation. This one landing page for one atomizer, at least 15, 20 grand, right, to make it. And he said, I know how much you're into this atomizer, and I am. It's been one of the best I've got, but it takes coils, and I don't like having to keep getting coils because I have to get them from England, and that's difficult. And he said, but look at that one. He said, I think that'll sort out your problems because it has a bit of like metal gauze, and you don't need to. You can make coils for it and put your own cotton in it. And I said to him, I've got to admit, it's much the same as this, but you don't have to buy ready-made coils. I said, I must admit, Jer, it's a lovely atomizer, but I said I've got a desk full of old atomizers over there, and I can't justify spending money on more atomizers. You know, it's just I just can't. You know, any spare money I get, like 20 quid here, 30 quid here, they go in my investments. You know, I'm planning a family. I'm gonna die a long time before my missus. I don't want to die thinking, how the fuck is she going to live? So I'm planning for her future. And I'll tell you what, it's nice to do something for someone else for the first time in my life. And I mean that, you know. And then he wrote back to me and said, yeah, but it's buy two, get one free. And so I then said to him, well, look, do you know someone who wants one? And if they want one and you want one and I want one, maybe we can go thirds. And he wrote back to me and said, I always buy two because if I like them, I'm a bit prone to breaking them. He said, so I've ordered it and I'll send you the free one. Lovely. Fucking lovely. Oh, how kind. How kind. But he's having a bit of an hard time, so that's why I said he's missed a few streams. Right, there was a couple more donations coming. Baron Badger dropped a Lady Godiva. Thanks, Chris. I only said that for the attention. Yeah. I've been a long-term sub, the Sex Tourist videos era. You are looking well. That's 4 or 5 years ago, isn't it? Nice one, Baron. Nice one for the donation. Yeah, I only said it for the attention. Is excellent opening to a comment. There's nothing like honesty. It is the food of life. Nice one, Baron. And nice that puts you in a very small group, as you probably know, because YouTube is transient. People get bored, people move on. And that's understandable. It's not just me, that's everyone. But there's probably only a handful of people from that period. Nice one, Baron. Well, I hope you enjoyed the attention. It's always nice to get with attention. Duck Boy Jiden, I was talking about you a minute ago. Great to see you back, Chris. Well, I did do one yesterday, but I did have to take a few days off. I'm not doing so much screen time. That's where my headaches are coming from. My GP told me. And he's right. He's right. And he said, if you go to an hospital in Cambodia after some kind of head scan, he said they're going to just ask about your lifestyle and then just go, yeah, maybe don't sit looking at the computer for 16 hours a day. And I'll go, yeah. But I was telling people it was you that sent me the story, right? It was long. It was long. I will finish it. I didn't get to the end because I had to set the stream up. And I was going to play it on the stream, but it might need some editing. But I appreciated what you said when you said, I understand it's a little bit more difficult than it looks just sitting in a room on your own, chatting. I did appreciate that. Nice one, Mr. Jiden. Thanks for the 10 plun. Schrodinger's cat flap says, just part and parcel living in the village. He's combined two memes. It's amazing. Nice one, Schrodinger's. Hello, Mark. Mental asylums be back under communism for us lot. Yeah. Well, that care in the community was what a farce that is. It's farcical, isn't it? If there were communities, it might have worked, but you can't chuck mad people onto the streets that have not got communities. That's called care in the street. And when I lived in Camberwell, never do that. You cannot walk up the street without having 2 or 3 people come up to you and go, "Oh, no!" That's more care in the community. I think they come from the Maudsley. It was the Maudsley that gave me the diamorphine prescription that I didn't. Can you imagine? I waited 20 years for that script. When I finally got it, I couldn't take it. Probably for the best, though, as if. Dartford. Oh, bollocks. I missed that. That was last night, was it? I'll have to watch that when I'm working today then. It's funny you say that, John B, because the units might be the 7th spastic. I mean, spastic has been very flexible in these tales because there's only actually 3 real spastics. But you know what it's like when you're a kid. You know, if someone's got a claw hand, they're a spastic, and that actually isn't what spastication is. Although spastication isn't a word, but I added it to my dictionary because it appears in the story about 30 times. Zeitgeist says my hometown is a mecca for nutters. Also had about 4 asylums at its peak before the government closed them down and left them to fend. There you go, fend for themselves on the streets. I just said it, didn't I? Care in the community when you haven't got communities is care in the streets, which is usually kids throwing apple cores at your head. Yeah, Gore Farm. Gore Farm. I can't remember if it's Gore Farm Asylum or Gore Farm Hospital. Imagine dropping off your kid there. No. But asylum for imbeciles is. But Stonehouse, which is the one that used to be called the Greater London Lunatic Asylum. What? In those days, you got locked up for having you went to a mental home if you were pregnant outside of marriage. Imagine that. You just had sex. You dared to have sex. Next thing you know, you're sitting there with, hello, do you like grapes? Do you like grapes that are made of metal? And you're just like, I'm just pregnant. And apparently, some of those old dears spent the rest of their lives in there. They went in at like 1920, not in 1920, although it probably would have been about then, you know, just for being pregnant outside of marriage because the rich bloke that knocked her up wasn't going to support her. The family disowned her because it brought shame on them. And they never left those mental homes because how long are you going to spend in a mental home pregnant and give birth, then have your kid sold off? It's a self-fulfilling madness prophecy. You are going to end up mental. And then when they go, you can leave now, you go, I'd like to stay, please. I want to hurt people and cats. And they go, yeah, all right, just go back in your room then, and we'll just get you some Largactil. Terrible, terrible, terrible whole thing. Look at this. Duckboy Dryden's grandfather lived on a site called Bedlam. A mental home called Bedlam. But maybe that's where it come from. I don't think so. I just tried to add something to it. Mousecat wants to know wins a spastic versus an imbecile. Is that like a spastic with some hot rocks? Well, I've actually seen it because there are obviously imbeciles at my primary school and there were the units, and occasionally there were fights between the two. And I have to say, the spastics, they had that mad spastic strength. They did. They were like people on meth. There was no beating them up. They felt no pain. Maybe it was the medication, but they absolutely smashed the shit out of the imbeciles, shall we call them? Right. I'm just going to check for donations, then we're going to get on. Hello, Daffy. Nice to see you. It does come from that. There you go. Look, it does. There you go. It does. There you go. Look, Charlie. Hello, Charlie, by the way. There you go. It does come from there. How? Oh, there you go. I guessed it, and then I thought I'd be ridiculous. Ben, hello, mate. An imbecile is a mental. Is a mental. Thanks for clearing that up. That sounds very scientific. An imbecile is a mental. That's why I've used a little bit of creative license in the story, because they're not all spastics, you know. No one's got 7 spastic stories unless you've actually lived in those places, and then you've probably got 100 spastics, but I haven't got the time for that. Bedlam is a contraction of Bethlehem and Mental Hospital. Which is part of the Maudsley. Oh, sorry. Bedlam is a contraction of Bethlehem Mental Hospital. Okay. But that contradicts what the other people were saying about Bedlam in Somerset. Oh, I'm getting all confused. Right, okay. Klaatu is suggesting you watch The Angry Bootneck. He's got a good take on the absurdity of this upside-down world. Visit his YouTube channel. He flies close to the sun, but I think you all may like him. There you go, people. Angry Bootneck. All right, I'll check it out for sure. We have covered the Maudsley on Denmark Hill. Yeah, we certainly have. Oh, there you go. The Bethlehem and Maudsley Hospital School. The Bethlehem. Hello, Resisting the Lies. Nice to see you, sir. Hello, Linda. Mousecat says, we had a local imbecile. Look, he's changed it, but he still ain't got it right. Who wore headphones and only listened to ABBA. Yeah, they're called gays. He would ask you if you liked ABBA, watch him swing around a temporary bus sign at fellow passengers because someone said no. He sounds like my kind of guy. Do you like ABBA? No. No! Come on, as if they wouldn't be great going out on a bit of the old Billy Whiz and a spaz. These are the times of our lives. Loomy worked there. Loomy thinks he worked there. I worked there. I worked at the Maudsley for 17 years. Every day they injected us with work drugs. In Victorian times, the well-to-dos would visit. What, just to look at the weirds? Or the mentals, as the weirds was worse than the mentals, wasn't it? Right. Let's have a look at some clipperati because I've got to get on with the show. How do I don't even know how to do it. Yes, I do. I OBS them all up. Let's start with this one. I've got to get my earphones in. 1 second. Right, now two of these are a bit old because I set them up for the migraine. What I'll call the migraine stream. But so you might have seen this, but it's very good. It is very good. I think I've got to put them in there. I've got to go there and press B. Then I've got to press that one. Yeah, it looks like Rags has put the link in for that geezer's. I nearly said station. It's the wireless station. Right, we should be all right. Let me just check here. Says it might rain here. It's 35 degrees. Right, I reckon we're all good. Just turn that off. Right. So the first clip is, like I say, it's about a week old now, but it's still worth a watch. So if someone could give me an audio check, I'm going to pop the lights on while we're watching it so that when you come back, I won't be in pitch black. Hang on, I'll just do that now. I'll probably look a bit jaundiced when you get back. Or should I say a little bit more jaundiced? Here we go. Let me know if you've got audio, please.
Additional question about something that happened a few months ago down at the border. We've been told that the mounted Border Patrol officers the president accused of whipping migrants have been notified they will not face criminal charges. So when is the president going to apologize to them?
There is a process and an investigation that's gone through the Department of Homeland Security. I don't have any update on that.
The president said that they were whipping people, which would be a criminal offense, and they've been told they're not going to be.
So we remember what he's talking about, of course, down on the southern border, down on the southern end, down on the gates to the USA. They said they were whipping people when they were actually on horseback, and not only was it proven no one got whipped, but they actually took their horses away, which is handy in a what would you call it, a terrain where a horse is, you know, the perfect vehicle for doing your job. They took the horses off them. No apologies as yet, which is what he's talking about. So I'll take it back just in case you didn't know that. And he's asking Jen Nutsack here why there's been no apologies for saying they were whipping people. They weren't. They were holding horses' reins. And the left knew it as well. They knew it. They were just like, ha, ha, ha. Let's say they were whipping the black people. Ha, ha, ha.
An investigation that's gone through the Department of Homeland Security. I don't have any update on that.
The president said that they were whipping people, which would be a criminal offense, and they've been told they're not going to be criminally charged.
And there was an investigation into that, and I'll let the Department of Homeland Security announce any conclusion of that investigation.
You accuse these officers of brutal and inappropriate measures. Now that they've been told they will not be criminally charged, will you apologize?
I think I just addressed it, Peter.
Okay. Hey, why is he the only one who asks her any questions? Great stuff. Right, moving on. Resisting the Lies says, I want to see a Sturgeon version of this edit-wise. Yeah, it would be lovely. I think it's an American channel though, isn't it? I doubt it'll get over there, but you could use the same. It's the Chucky doll, isn't it? That one. I'm not too up on the horror films, but it would be fantastic. Right, here we go. Now we saw Foot Golf's video of the goose that was protecting the foot golf hole, probably because it had eggs nearby. But it turns out that this is just a little bit of light entertainment, to be honest with you. But it turns out that they're quite the bastards, the old geese. Hang on a minute. I didn't clip the whole thing to watch the whole lot, but I think this is. I don't know a lot about golf, right? But I imagine there's places where you just, what's that called? What's it called when you hit the ball? Vart! When you hit the ball for the first time. Billy, I've just seen that. Matt, I've just seen that. I'll get that. I'll deal with those in a minute. Like a tee off, where people can just practice teeing off. So basically, loads of golf balls end up in one area, like near the putting green, and there's some kind of feathered wildlife there, and obviously confusing the golf balls for eggs. And she's trying to crack them. It's quite funny, actually. This is just like entertainment in a driving range. There you go. Thank you. Everyone came in with it. Thank you. Hello, Pants Langford. What an absolute pleasure. Hello, Barney. We ain't just when Barney turns up, the stream usually finishes. When I see him here, I'm like, it's time to close the doors. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see your pants as well. Nice to see your pants. It's never nice to see pants. For our American brothers and sisters in England, that's underwear. So have a look at this silly bird trying to crack open golf balls. This is light entertainment. Sometimes it's required. Here we go. It's only short. Quite clever though. Runs over to the hard bit, and where's my yoke? It only wants its yoke, look. And I'm a little bit embarrassed how entertaining I thought that was. It's funny you say that, Jim. As I get older, as if I wasn't Googling golf courses in Cambodia, of which there are loads, and they're really cheap because it's Cambodia. I just thought, you know what? Sunday afternoon, just get out there, little bit of that, nice bit of schmutter. Funny, isn't it, how it turns out? Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Billy. Thank you for joining in with a little bit of light entertainment. It was quite sweet, though. I'd like to say that it was a clever bird for knowing to take it over to the concrete, rather than trying to break it on the grass, but not clever enough to know that it was a golf ball and not an egg. A couple of entropies have come through. I've got to be careful here. I haven't. I don't know why I said that. I just don't want to expose the memes before time, because there's some absolute classics today. Here we go. A couple of entropies came in. Machano Caprashacusis R2. Matt says, for the mosquito net suit, that is strangely... well, when I show you some Chinese kids going to school a bit later, Matt, you'll laugh, because it's essentially what they're wearing. They're mosquito net suits. But nice one for that, Matt. It's been interesting talking to you as well, Matt, on the emails. I'm always interested in that. Billy, nice one. He says, no cap, and she indicated the government will avoid, if possible, for... Yeah, we've already shown that, Billy. Billy, did you turn up late? I'm not asking that, like calling you out, but I've already shown that on this actual stream. So we've actually had a look at that. Or is it something else? If it's something else, tell me. But we had a look at that article. So it's absurd, absolutely absurd. And then we started looking at how many people live there and what percentage of the population that was and all that stuff. Also, Billy, you said you sent me an email with niggling Billy or something in the subject. I haven't got an email from you. I checked them all yesterday. It did look like it volleyed the first thwack. Good use of thwack there, John. It did, yeah. I think it got a bit of a wing hit on it. Right, here we go. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Billy. Moving on to the next clip. I've got some absolute classics here. We've got past the older ones. Clips and memes. This stream came from Rags and Kevin Keener. And there's some absolute beauts. Let me just rack this one up. This is beautiful. Right, so... the laughing hyena, the giggling banshee, the vice president of the United States of America. Now, this video was called, I can't remember. It's something like, imagine you're talking to a 5-year-old. Imagine your speech was to a 5-year-old or something. This is shocking. Now, the editor has dropped in some Star Trek clips to make it even funnier. But honestly, look at the state of the communist administration of the United States. Check it.
Space, the final frontier.
Space is exciting. It spurs our imaginations.
Space is exciting. Notice she's talking to the military. What are these people? They're killers. Space is exciting.
It spurs our imaginations.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
And it forces us to ask big questions.
Its continuing mission:
to explore strange new worlds.
Space, it affects us all.
To seek out new life and new civilizations.
Can we just... What? Space affects us all. Oh, the philosophy here. Yeah, I used to like Star Trek. Did you see what they done with that fucking Picard nonsense? Just made all the characters you grew up loving into bumbling, fumbling white people.
And it connects us all.
to boldly go where no man has gone before. Where no man has gone before. Where no man has gone before. Where no man has gone before.
What a bizarre woman she is. And again, I know I say it every damn street, it's this hypnosis thing. They can say anything. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And they know it. They know it. They've got the media on side. They've got the globalist machine on side. She just stood up in front of the military and made that speech. Space is exciting. Space connects us all. So does urine. You know, shut up. Fuck off. You're really a really weird woman, and you have no place in a government in anywhere. Perhaps Haiti or Liberia, where they ended up eating their leaders. Or you wouldn't catch me having a leg of Kamala. Continue. Right. This is light entertainment video number. Whoa. This is light entertainment video number right? This is what Mousecat sent me, bless him. And this is amazing. I'm going to tell you what it is because I think that actually makes it funnier. So there's a load of blokes out fishing or on a boat, right? They're about 3 miles from shore, right? That's a long way from shore, relatively. And they come across a geezer in an inflatable unicorn with a fishing rod. An inflatable unicorn 3 miles from shore. Now, why is he there? Maybe the tide pulled him out, but he's got a fishing rod. Maybe it's because he's got a shark. He's hooked a shark, and the shark has pulled him out to sea in his inflatable unicorn. Now, if a shark had pulled me out to sea on an inflatable unicorn, 2 things are happening. I'm letting go of the fishing rod and going back to the beach to say, that was hairy. Or I'm absolutely terrified. This fella's just there going, no, I've got a shark. Enjoy this. It's magnificent. If this doesn't cheer you up, you're lost. You're lost.
Joey, there's a guy on it. I swear to God. Straight ahead. Dude, what are you doing? Oh my God. There's a rod in his hand. What is he doing over there? What are you doing? You have a shark? On your rod? Are you serious? What the heck? He said he was at the beach? Guys, look how far offshore we are right now. Are you okay? Yeah. You want to be saved or what? He has a life jacket. You plan to do this? What are you doing? I was planning to do it, but that's what I do while I'm at the beach. You're 2 miles offshore. We can give you a ride home. You got like Uber or something. Yeah? Guys. Look at this guy. Joey. Oh. Okay, we're gonna help you. Okay, let's get a rope to him. Get the rod first. Okay. All right, rod first, guys.
And you see the shark.
This is a true fisherman, guys. Rod first. Let me see. Is there something really on there? Hold on a second, bro. Yeah, I can hold that. Okay, hold the rope. This is real. There's literally. You want to land this thing, or should we just cut the line? Let's land it. I'm already out here. Bro! Are you okay? Don't forget the unicorn! It's a massive shark, whatever it is. It's straight down. High five. My feet are terrible, too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Big boy. Oh my god. Oh! Look at the size of that thing. Oh, guys, what species? Oh my God! Oh! Look how far this thing took us in. We were 2 miles off. We're probably like a mile now, maybe a mile and a half. Man, you're insane. Go ahead, touch it. Can you reach?
I mean, Mouse Cat, bless you for that, man. Incredible. But he would have probably died because that shark ain't going back to the beach. And you know what? That's one of those stories. I survived 10 days at sea in an inflatable unicorn because he would have died if they hadn't seen him. He was just so casual, wasn't he? You all right, mate? Yeah, I got a shark. He must have been so drunk. Have a couple of these tablets, you'll like them before you go fishing. Right, okay, where are we going next? Let's have a look what we got for you here. Brilliant. Old Laurie Lightfoot. Old Laurie Lightfoot's been getting busy being obnoxious. Let's see what she's got to say. This is incredible. She's so unpleasant. She just lives in a dream world. And by dream world, I mean a different planet. Where are you from, Lightfoot? Here we go.
Every time you have a press conference, you say crime is down. The economy is booming.
Well, that's not true, but get your question, sir.
Across the street, we had a police officer on duty, the victim of a hit and run. We have Michigan Avenue, the magnificent miles now referred to as the Mile of Fear.
Note how much she's shaking, probably because he's full height.
The water tower place has thrown the keys back to the lender. They say they don't want to be in Chicago anymore. Real Chicagoans are asking me, how could you possibly even consider running for re-election as mayor of the city of Chicago after all the harm you've caused?
Well, I disagree with you fundamentally, and I don't think I need to address any and dignify your comments 1 second further. Next question.
You fucked up.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Oh no, Chicago's going great, Laurie. So she's standing again. She wants to be mayor again because it's a great place. No one is desperately trying to get out or anything. And again, this is why you need to have some kind of financial independence, because that can happen anywhere. It can happen to Ooze on Linden or whatever it's called, Linton on Ooze. It can happen. You can have a lovely house in a lovely village and a lovely life. And when the commies decide they're going to help you, they're going to assist you, they're going to enrich you, you don't have any say. The only say you can have is having the means to get the fuck out of there and take your children with you. Right, what have we got next down here in this? Right, this is interesting. Someone might be able to help me on this. I think this was from a Twitter account and it isn't the woman who posted it. I think this is a woman called Kate Paris, and she's got a Telegram channel called Bubba Kate Paris. If anyone in the chat can, that's a great call. If anyone in the chat can confirm that, but you can't really hear the woman she's talking to. But before we get into this video, I just want to, because this is about, I mean, this woman's a breath of fresh air. You'll be like, what? She's actually saying that? She's obviously talking to a woman from Afro-Caribbean heritage, ethnicity, because you can tell by her voice. And the moment where the woman just doesn't want to talk about it anymore is the predictable moment. But it made me think about BAME. BAME, we all know BAME, black and minority ethnic. But aren't blacks minority ethnics? Yet again, they get this weird singled out. Why isn't it IAM, Indian and minority ethnic? Why isn't it AIM, Asian and minority ethnic? Why black and minority ethnic? You know, because minority ethnic includes Latinx, I think they're called these days. Why isn't it lame? Well, for obvious reasons. But why do they get their own, dare I say, segregated initial? It's peculiar. But now dear Susan and dear YouTube, I'm just playing this. I'm not saying it. I'm playing it. All right. So that people can sort of see the kind of conversations that are going on in the real world. So this is at some kind of BAME convention. And like I say, I think it's Kate Paris. I think her Telegram channel is called Bubba Kate Paris. Check it out. Watch the moment when the woman she's talking to you don't see just says it's bullshit. It's bullshit what you're saying. All right. You'll like this. I know you'll like this. Check it.
Is causing white children to disengage with the curriculum and is harming not only their mental health but their life chances by harming their educational prospects. So, seeing as if all other races are allowed to represent themselves and the issues that their races have, I think that it's important, seeing as if our particular racial group happens to be the lowest group going on into university, has the lowest attainment, and this has been proven by the government who released a report, The Forgotten, this year about the white working class. So just like any other race, we are sticking up for our children and ensuring that they are included, that their mental health is considered.
But why don't you make an event instead of coming here and putting your flyers?
Because we, as white people...
If you didn't hear that, the woman she's talking to said, why don't you make your own event rather than coming here and giving out your flyers? And Kate Paris makes a great answer.
Why don't you make an event instead of coming here and putting your flyers?
Because we, as white people, aren't allowed to talk about these issues. We're not allowed to story. We're not allowed to talk about race and the impact that these...
right?
No, we talk about race. We talk about how this is impacting white children. It's not about class. Because some of these white children are more economically disadvantaged than their black and ethnic minority peers. How can you say that a black boy who comes from a socioeconomically advantaged background is more or is less privileged than a white boy who's on free school meals?
It's different kinds of privileges as well.
No, there's no such thing as white privilege. There is such thing as socioeconomic privilege. But as a white student, as a white student, and like other white students, many of us are disengaged with the curriculum. When they talk about psychological harm, do they talk about the million white school children that have been raped in religiously and racially motivated offences by Muslim Pakistani gangs? What about our schools that ignore that? What about our schools that ignore the sexual assaults of white girls? Why do we not talk about these issues of race? Oh, because it affects the white community. And we're not allowed to talk about race.
I'm not interested anymore to talk about
because you're not interested in the impact that it has on white kids.
No,
You're
I
only
just think
interested
you're
in...
saying bullshit now. Like,
Well,
you need to
why
have your
don't you check
arguments
the data
straight.
instead of just listening to Marxist propaganda?
Oh my God.
Have a look at the Forgotten report. Go online and have a look. Type in white disadvantaged working class education. Just type in that into Google and see what it comes up with.
Did you ever just say I'm not interested in your bullshit? Lulu said that it's black, Asian, minority, ethnic. Okay, I always thought it was black and minority ethnic, but nonetheless, it's still a peculiar setup. Yeah, just I'm not interested in your bullshit. And she said it. She said, yeah, because you're not interested in what happens to white kids. So yeah, I think that's Kate Paris. And like I said, I think I can't for sure because it was tweeted by someone else who isn't her, but I think her account is called Bubba Kate Paris. So if you want to look into that, or if anyone else knows, yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Just saying I'm not interested in your bullshit. What? Because it's different from yours. Is that the problem? Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to do. Yeah. We're gonna have to do what we've always done, and that's excel at life. Right, moving on. I might have to delete this stream. I'll give it maybe a day or something, and then it'll probably have to go. Weird, isn't it? You can't say that. Oh no, you can't say that. Here we go. Right, so this is a bit last week's news, but it's so good it has to be watched. So when I was going to do my Libs of TikTok stream, I had so many videos and cuts. It's easy for me to say it was going to be remarkable. Now it didn't happen, but it was. But I now know that everyone's checked out Libs of TikTok, so there's no point in me going there. But this is brilliant. So Taylor Lorenz, just a little recap in case anyone still doesn't know. Taylor Lorenz is a journalist, activist. And she was doxxed and she said, oh, this is terrible. You shouldn't dox people. She said on video, I've got PTSD from journalists and that going to my family's homes, coming to my homes. This is, she started crying on television when she said all that, right? 4 weeks later, she doxed the Libs of TikTok's woman. She couldn't find her. She doxed her family, and she herself turned up on the Libs of TikTok's woman's family's doorsteps. The woman who said you shouldn't do that, said this is awful, I've got PTSD, and started crying, done exactly the same thing 4 weeks later to a family member of a channel that done nothing but showed you what these people have already made public. Mind-blowing. So someone knocked up this piss take of Taylor Lorenz, and she deserves it. Check it. There you go. Press that, press that, press that. Check it out.
Which brings us to the execrable Taylor Lorenz. So Taylor Lorenz is a garbage heap. She was a horrible reporter at the New York Times. She's 87 years old, pretending to be a millennial. Here she was in the beginning of April.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life.
And that's what she done to the Libs of TikTok woman's family. Exactly the same thing.
Woof. I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
All right, Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm going.
1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
It's amazing, isn't it? What you shouldn't be able to dox us, but the evil enemy, no, that's different because they're evil. Fuck these people, man. I just, that's mentally ill to just, their position is we're right, you're wrong. I think everyone should be able to say whatever they want. This is obvious, and it's basic. Just say it, because I am confident that the people who share parts of my ideology, enough parts of it to make us a community, I'm confident in what we say and our arguments and our debates. They're not. That's why they don't want us talking. I want them to speak. Libs of TikTok was a channel that all it did, there was no voiceovers, there was no silly jokes. It was just collating what they'd already made public. That's all it was. Why would you attack that? No, you can't put them all together in a line like that because it makes us look stupid. Well, you can take as many clips from our side and put them in a line, as many as you want. Crack on. You can take anything. Go for it. Because it makes us look brilliant, because we are, and you're fucking lost, you utopian communist wankers. I'm sorry, I can't stand these people. Moving on. This is Salty Cracker. It's not the whole thing, but we have to watch it because well, what's the point of me summarizing it when he does it incredibly well? It's only a minute long. It was from the start of one of his videos. Prepare, if you haven't seen this, prepare to have your mind blown. I mean, just think where we were, let's say 8 months ago, right? Remember, this is a COOF-based thing. And just listen to what we've all been saying, researching, knowing about, learning about, what they're called, what the whistleblowers have told us about. Think about all that. How are they going to spin that? How are they going to spin the truth? I was gobsmacked when I watched this. Check it out. Salty cracker.
By the way, we know that vaccines are killing people of color, blacks, Latinos, indigenous people at about 2 times the rate of white Americans.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. Okay, so what? Let's just do that again.
By the way, we know that vaccines are killing people of color, blacks, Latinos, indigenous people at about 2 times the rate of white Americans.
What the? I mean, so now I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm just showing you this. So if these things are dangerous, how can they spin it? Oh, well, they are dangerous, but it's killing blacks and Latinos more than whites. It's like, oh man, amazing. So if they've actually come to admit it, they've spun it that it's look, white man bad again. It's just incredible, absolutely mind blowing.
Rate of white Americans.
What the fuck did you just say?
Somebody better bring me Bill Gates. I need an explanation from the world's most preeminent vaccine pusher, a guy telling me constantly and consistently that these vaccines generated by these 3 corporations. Oh, wait, 2 corporations now? That one corporation stopped making the totally safe, totally effective vaccine. Ain't nobody fucking talking about that. 1/3 of the U.S. production.
That is an interesting little aside there. Johnson & Johnson have just dropped out of this game. After distributing his stuff to multiple millions of people, including my missus, now they've just stopped doing it. Well, why? What? Hang on. Why aren't it? Why isn't anyone talking about one of the biggest of the big pharma have just gone? Yeah. Now, moving on now. Oh, why? I mean, if it was effective and safe, and you were making a fortune from it, why would you just? Oh, I suppose that's not news. I suppose that's not important.
Of the totally safe, totally effective vaccines just ceased, and nobody's talking about 100% safe. Bring me Bill Gates. Again, I need an explanation as they drag the COOF narrative back from the dead because the Ukraine situation ain't working for them and the midterms are rapidly descending upon us. Engage the Black Lives Matter, everybody.
Engage the Black Lives Matter, everybody. It's a wicked video. If you're not a fan of Salty Crack, or if you don't watch it, you probably should, because he's totally on it. Engage, because the Ukraine ain't working. They've reanimated the coup. Engage the Black Lives Matter. It's too good. It absolutely is, like, guys, as we all knew it would. As we all knew it would. I put a tweet in, I put a article, a Substack article, not my Substack. For the first time, I'm actually promoting someone else's. Or I did promote Lumi's twice. But did anyone read that article? I'll pop it in. It's too hard to find now. It's on my Telegram. Incredible. Some virologist dared to say, well, hang on a minute, and that's him fucked. That's him fucked. He's only been in the game 30 years. Absolute madness. Right. Where are we? Hang on, I'll put it on the screen. I can't read it though. Oh, fuck that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Did they have it? Did they have it while they were carrying? I mean, I'm thinking about my own missus here. But I did look into it, and apparently at least that Johnson & Johnson one's out of the system in 6 months. So thank fuck for that. Yeah, incredible stuff though there from Salty Cracker. Right, moving on. Oh yeah, it's Poetry Corner. Another little bit. Well, this isn't exactly light entertainment, but we do a bit of this around here. So here you go. Here's 46 minutes just to sit back and cheers, Lulu. Okay, great. Here we go, people. Check it out. A great poem from one of ours.
Glory be to God for dappled things, for skies of couple colour as a brinded cow, for rose moles all stipple upon trout that swim, fresh fire coal chestnut falls, pinches wings, landscape plotted and pieced, fold, fallow and plough, and all trades their gear and tackle and trim, all things counter, original, spare, strange. Whatever is fickle, freckled, who knows how, with swift, slow, sweet, sour, a dazzle, dim, he fathers forth whose beauty is past change. Praise him.
Great stuff, absolutely great. Pied Beauty, Gerald Manley Hopkins. I think we'll drop one of them in every clips and memes stream we do, because we've had some fantastic poets. Right, where are we going now? Here we go. This is from We Got a Problem. It's we've already talked about this, and I mentioned it earlier. Check it. It's just. I don't know what to say. We've already said it, but it's a cracking video. Here we go.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. As you all are probably aware, Ireland is run by lefty fart nozzles and inadequate spunk bubbles, and they are systematically attempting to destroy Ireland from the inside with their open borders policy. Well, it seems that their open borders policy is already causing problems, and their response to those problems is absolutely ridiculous. Before we get into this, though, let's just refresh our memories. Ireland have actually said that they'll take 100,000 Ukrainian refugees.
What did I say, Rags? Did I say we got a problem? I always mix them up. I probably did say that. It certainly is rotten politics. The giveaway is the avatar and the bit at the beginning. He does sound different. He does. Apologies, people. Apologies. I'll take it a bit for interfering. Of course, this is rotten politics. He said it twice, and it's in the avatar. But carry on. He sounds different. It's hilarious. But this is what we were talking about earlier about Ireland, so it makes sense to check it out. Here we go.
Problems is absolutely ridiculous. Before we get into this, though, let's just refresh our memories. Ireland have actually said that they'll take 100,000 Ukrainian refugees, 100,000, and then went one better, because, you know, they could, and said 200,000. There you go. Ireland could take in 200,000 refugees from the Ukraine, says the ministers. Now, obviously, this has prompted the normal virtue signalers in Ireland to come out in force and pledge to help these poor people coming over and offer space in their properties. Now, that sounds brilliant, doesn't it? Well, 23,000 Irish have pledged to open the homes. 23,000 comes nowhere near the amount that you would need to house 200,000 refugees. So what they're actually saying is that we're going to be bringing 200,000 refugees. We're going to put a few of them up in your house, and the rest of them are going to go into houses that would probably be for your, I don't know, your children's futures. Now, obviously, this is going to price out the locals of the housing market, or specifically their children. But not only that, schools are having problems because the Ukrainian children don't speak English very well.
Right, so this is the kicker. Right, two things. So I just want to remind you to the clip I showed you earlier, well, the image, where it said the government, if possible, won't force homeowners and businesses to take refugees. If possible, they won't force you. Now, you just heard the numbers there. What was it? 27,000 people said they would, and they're looking at 200,000 refugees. So unless they're going to take 8 per household, that, if possible, is just a caveat. No, you're going to be forced to take these people. Now, as if that isn't bad enough, as if that is, you know, you only need to know basic arithmetic to go, you're fucked. Listen to what he says next. And I've researched this. I looked into it. It's totally legit. This is happening. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Yeah, but Mark, they never do go back after. The Syrians were meant to go. Why would they go back? Why would they go back when they get free housing, free money, free education, free healthcare? No one goes back. It never happens. If they did, I would probably consider it differently. I actually probably would, but they never do. But and I'll tell you what, Mark, this next thing he says is proof that they won't be going back. Because if they were, they wouldn't be doing what is about to blow your minds. Check it.
The Ukrainian children don't speak English very well. So instead of, are we ready for this, teaching them how to speak English better, seeing as how they are now settled in a English-speaking nation, they're actually going to teach the Irish children how to speak Ukrainian instead. Topsy-turvy world.
You heard that right. So because the Ukrainian kids can't speak English in an English-speaking country, rather than give them extra lessons, which would obviously cost a fortune, no, the Irish kids are going to have to learn Ukrainian, which is a useful language. I mean, it's spoken all over the Ukraine. Well, actually, it isn't. Russian is spoken in a fair amount of the Ukraine. It's just shocking. It's just more work, more work for the Irish kids. I haven't got a clue. I've got nothing to say about this except for they hate us. They hate us.
Much. Have you noticed how it's always everybody has to do stupid things to benefit the very small number? If they're going to be staying here, wouldn't it not be a better idea to teach them the English you're supposed to be teaching the children? Absolute joke, this, isn't it? 23,000 houses so they can virtue signal. Does absolutely nothing when your government are offering to take in 200,000. Ireland, I think you need to remove whoever you've got in charge. They're not going to be doing anything for your benefit from now on. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon.
I mean, I like to think I can offer something to these clips, but there's nothing else to say there, is there? That's, you talk about, we have frequently talked about what happens in multicultural societies to the host nation, that they become second, third class citizens. And that is just, it doesn't get clearer than that. The visitors don't have to adapt. No, you have to adapt to them, which makes them the first class citizens. You have to adapt to them. Usually, I mean, if they were Spanish, maybe it might make sense, or Chinese. At least it's like you can speak business. Ukrainian, spasibo. It's fucking insane, man. Right, what have we got next? I've got to move along here. It's a very short one, but it's bloody lovely. Unfortunately, it's hard for me to OBS these without getting the little play bar at the bottom out the way when they're this short, but check it. It's good. It's Laurie Lightfoot and Biden having a little bit of fun in the toilet.
We will shut you down. We will cite you. And if we need to, we will arrest you and we will take you to jail. Period.
Just someone making that. Someone sat at home and went, Right, a couple more clips and then we're going to get on those memes. Well, I say a couple more clips, I mean one. Matt, earlier on you suggested something about oh, bollocks, I can't remember exactly, but something about kids wearing suits. Sorry, my nose is running. I think it's the, it's my nose running. Check this out. Now, I haven't been able to legitimate this. I haven't been able to authenticate it. Supposedly, it's Chinese kids going to school because there's been a coof outbreak in China. So this. I've been told by the person who posted the video that this is kids going to school in China. I haven't been able to, like I say, authenticate it. But that's it. Mosquito net suits. Yeah, good call, Matt. But but the problem is Tony Blair gave them a mile. You know, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Blair gave them a mile, and they take your country. Check out some school kids in China having a nice day at school, allegedly. I mean, what apocalyptic nightmare is that? What is this, Blade Runner 3? What the fuck is going on? I mean, the soundtrack didn't help. Right, a little article here. We all know Alison Shabloz. She got locked up for singing funny songs about protected groups. I've got very little to say on her songs or her groups, but it would appear that Alison is going back to prison. Anti-Semitic blogger 58, who compared Auschwitz to a theme park, is jailed again for mocking Jewish people by changing the lyrics of an Oliver Twist song. We'll get to the interesting bit where it says an anti-Semitic campaigner who once compared blah, 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 blah. Alison Shabloz changed the lyrics. You've got to pick a pocket or two. You've got to shift a shekel or two, suggesting that was Tommy Robinson's outlook. And she's going to prison again. She's going back to prison. This is England, and you can be locked up for making funny songs about religious groups. That's England. Yeah, she's off to prison. I can't remember how long she got. Hang on. Where is it? 22 weeks. Hello, darling. Oh, hello. Been to the gym. Make her perfect body. Look at that ass. No, I shouldn't say that, but oi, less of that. Bending over. Steady. Right, now we're on to the memes. Good luck. Oh, lovely. What's that? What is it? Carrot and apple. Lovely. How was the gym? Good. Give me a kiss. Lovely. Thank you, darling. There you go. Thank you, love. Lovely to see you. I'm nearly done. 10, 15 minutes. That's the missus. Changed my life. What are you meant to do? Oh, okay. I thought she'd only been away once before. John says this is her third term for singing a song. I mean, England. Wow. I just don't. No one else is talking about that now. Move. Go. That's it. Go in the bedroom. I mean, I've seen Alison talking on. You know, she was on various nationalist channels talking, and you know, I'm not really interested in the content. That doesn't matter. I mean, can you sing songs about Christians and go to prison? Can you sing songs about Islam and go to prison? Can you sing songs about pagans? Can you sing songs about Catholics? It's interesting, isn't it? Third time she's going to prison for singing songs, for saying bad things. What the fuck has happened? Mind blown. There you go. Right. Let's get on to the memes. We got some absolute belters here today. Check it out. Right. Now, we know my meme screen isn't great. I have to keep making them big. I might work out a way of doing it. I'll never work out a way of doing this better. You just have to put up with it. But it kind of works. Here we go. We've got Brian Stelter there. A little bit of 1984 in the background. I mean, good Lord. I'll do it. Look away from the screen. Mark, that was kind of the point I forgot to make at the end of it. You know, she seems very on the ball, and you know, she seemed like a nice person. I have to say that because that was my feeling of watching her being interviewed. But there you go. There's Brian. Huh? Well, you can take that one. Where was it last? Toilet? I think it's in that toilet where you had it yesterday. What are you doing? Oh.
I miss you.
You miss me, do you? Okay. I'm not sure she knows what miss me means. Like we're in the room. There's that then. There's Brian. Have you found it? Yeah, okay. I love you too. Right, what else have we got here? So, if you don't know, Netflix is fucked. Netflix is absolutely fucked. They managed to coast it for a while with a couple of good documentaries, a couple of good series, but they went woke and they're going broke. They predicted 1 million new subscribers in Q4 or something, and they lost 200,000. And now they're going to stop password sharing. So if you live in a house and you've got a Netflix account and your kids are in their house and they say, give us your password so we can watch Netflix, they're not going to let you do that anymore. They're not going to let you do that. How many people are going to not sign up for a new... It's fucking expensive. What, 10, 14, 10, 15 pound a month or something? What, to just be woked out of existence? No, bye. If you get an Amazon Prime account, which means you can get things delivered to you the next day. Now, I'm no supporter of Amazon, but I'm just giving you an equivalency here. If you get Amazon Prime, which means you can get things delivered the next day, you get free streaming services. You can watch movies and documentaries for nothing. Netflix was woven into the fabric of our culture. Netflix and chill, all of that. You know, it was a great business, and they went woke, and they've gone broke. Check this out. I hope I've got this in the right order. Right, hang on, look at this. Look. This isn't a joke. I did not mess around with this. Hang on, have a look at this. That's the last 5 days. Markets. They are down 36%. Now, you don't need to know anything about the stock market. Just look at the red line. That's fucking shocking. People have lost billions. Absolute billions. Now, I've got one more on the Netflix for you. Not a meme, but I'll read it out to you. Hang on. Yesterday, so this is a couple of days, this is about 4 days ago. Yesterday, April the 21st, we reported on Netflix announcement that it lost 200,000 subscribers since January the 1st, basically. Additionally, the streaming company's recent pulling out of Russia over the hip with whoop cost it an additional 700,000 viewers, according to Reuters. Netflix estimates it will lose another 2 million paying customers before June this year, which led to the company's market value plummeting by $50 billion. Right? Now, add to that they're going to sort out the password sharing, which, as someone who knows a little bit about this sort of stuff, That's no. What? As soon as they do that, they're going to lose. I guess a fifth or a quarter of their viewers. If you can't dish out your password, and I'll tell you something else. When I used to be on the dark web, which was quite frequently, you could buy Netflix accounts where they just hack people's accounts for $1. Right now, it gets better. It was $1. Right, a one-off payment. When the person whose Netflix account realized that they'd been hacked, because they'd go to their page and they would go, it would say recently viewed, and it'd be like, I haven't watched any of them. Now, because people share passwords, they probably think, oh, maybe my wife or maybe my kids have watched them. But when they suss it out and change their password and your password doesn't work, you go back to the dark web, you tell the bloke, and you get another one for free. So you get lifetime Netflix accounts for $1. In Minecraft, I had one of those accounts. It was brilliant. I had my missus in Minecraft, and missus had it on her phone as well. She loved it, and the provinces, just watching films all day long. As soon as they fuck, I mean, it's fucked. It's fucked. These are wins, and these are big wins, because this is propaganda. And when propaganda dissolves, it's good. Bye. And so there's one more here. We had the Zeppelin crashing into the tower. Look at this. Yeah. Good stuff. Bye, Netflix. You were quite good for a while. The usual double standards of leftards. Twitter's a private company. It can do what it wants. Elon, yeah. No. Otto, hello, mate. Net fucked. Exactly. I know that Latinx is leftist language. I did use it tongue in cheek, Aidan. I wasn't playing ball, I can assure you. There's that one. Good stuff. States, the old Charlie Brown cartoon. I used to get called Charlie Brown for obvious reasons. States are allowing folks to not identify as male or female now. And Charlie says, interesting, the Constitution only grants men and women the right to vote. You have got to love a meme, Cole. They're the stand-up comics of the age. Because no one wants Francis Foster prancing around doing an impression of Ben Elton. Girls with the time machine. I am your granddaughter. Really? Boys with the time machine. Rewrite the second one like you're talking to a 5-year-old. There you go. There you go. The Last of Us says, commie nonce flicks will subvert you and your values. Not for much longer, The Last of Us. Not for much longer. Here we go. Couple more. Amazing. Good call. Pocahontas there. Climate change is proven by science. Why can't you accept that? Science proves there are two genders. Why can't you accept that? I knew someone was going to say something along those lines, Linda. I knew someone was going to say something like that. Yeah. As I looked at him, I thought, that don't look like the Charlie Brown I remember. But there you go. I like the way you've called him Chai, though. That's very sweet. Okay, moving on. And I think we're down to our last. And I saved the best to last. Cover your eyes if you don't want to see the close-up. Now, in fairness, I think that's probably someone just going to a fancy dress for the lols rather than one of our new people. But if Bill Backbetter was a superhero, I think the only problem is it has a penis. There you go. No, for sure. Absolutely, Otto. Well, there we go. 2 hours, 15 minutes. The grift started well. There was a slight bump halfway through, and then it was awful. Cracking stream, though, I think you'll have to admit. 4.5 hours in the making. Lovely to be back. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's. I'm not going to be doing clips and meme streams every day because that's just too. I've got to do a day's work now, and I've got to go out tonight with the missus. So it will be chill streams, meme streams, guests, and a fair mix-up. Quite a lot of chill streams, though, because that just takes the time of me here. Yes, love? Nothing. You got nothing, is it? I'm finishing now. Right, I want to thank Rags and Steve for looking after the place. I want to thank Rags and Kevin Keener for memes and clips. A couple of those are mine, but in fairness, most of them weren't. And I want to thank all of you. I want to thank everyone who donated. You do keep the streams alive. Without the donations, I wouldn't stream every day. It's just the reality of life. So thank you. I want to send prayers and best wishes to Moslab and his family, and I wish you all to do the same. And I will see you tomorrow. Depending, if the missus goes to bed early tonight, I might do a sneaky late night whisperer. But yeah, I talked about you earlier and your extreme generosity, but Linda already, I think you're a few minutes behind because Linda already called me out on that being Linus. Let me grab some music. We'll go over here. We'll have Alex. It's been a while since we've had Alex, hasn't it? Let's get Alex up. Here we go. Bless you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Yeah, I don't know what else you meant to say. I didn't want to go Sticks, Hex, and Hammer 666 in it with peace out or anything ridiculous like that. Ta-ta.
Store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. You're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we want to eat babies. I have them on video.
Good call, Paige.
Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. In a room, vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice, and it's self-rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
And so was I. You look so black. You look so black. Look after yourselves, people. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. You're so... Yeah, but you're not. It's because I've got no light on us. Right. See you later, people. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Take care, people.
Oh, you're lovely. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.